Do you have like any like family holiday tradition kind of stuff? That you
Do I have any family
Yeah,
holiday
I don't know.
tradition?
I read your book and it's like I know you were talking about like how your grandpa would like fuck with you and stuff. I was wondering
Yeah,
if he ever
my
did anything
grandfather was an
around.
insane person who
Next.
was put in an insane asylum for a while.
Wow.
I don't know if did I mention that in the book, that he was in a
don't
literal
think- I don't know if
insane
you
asylum?
did.
Is he into the holidays?
He was not into the holidays. He was a fearful man who stayed in his house for about 11 straight years.
Oh,
I didn't
right.
see him. Thank you for bringing him up, though. Thanks for bringing that up immediately. This year, my family, my mom, this is gonna get immediately sad.
What if they stay
My mom
together?
told me not to come over for Christmas this year.
Oh,
My brother's not coming. Then my mom was like, we might get out of town if you don't come. And I was like, no, I'll come. I'll make the drive. They just moved 5 hours away. They've always lived like half an hour away. And I was like, it's 5 hours, but it's Christmas. I'll hang out. And she's like, no, don't. Like, don't do it.
Oh, man.
So I'm gonna be alone on Christmas. So I think I'm gonna go see Django Unchained.
kill it.
I had this high school girlfriend, and she
With-
had these three
I'm not
friends, and they
spoiling.
called themselves the Bitches. That was the name of their crew. And then I got her a T-shirt that said, "Hello, my name is Bitch." And I thought that was like super innovative, and like
Yeah.
I was playing into her bit, and she hated it so much. Like hate isn't a strong enough word. That's the worst.
Did
gift I've
your
made.
relationship survive that gift?
We dated for 3 more years.
Oh, wait, no.
I feel like I'm dropping the ball. Am I currently dropping the ball?
No. Guess what? Up
What do we do to
next,
change that?
Chris is in the truth booth answering all of your questions from the chat. Nate, can we see your
Oh.
pickle before you go?
Ask me sad questions.
Boom.
Everyone, ask me sad questions.
Let's make this really like Christmas.
Yeah.
So anyway, get your questions in for Chris.
Make them sad.
Did you see this entire candy cane in like 10 seconds?
It crumbled apart in my hands as I unwrapped it and fell all over the floor, which also happened
feels
yesterday.
great.
I was eating my dinner, which was a piece of pizza I was eating while walking down the sidewalk, and I dropped it. That was my dinner.
no.
Yeah, that was
Bummer.
my dinner.
Did you pick it up? 5-second rule?
No, I briefly thought about it, but it was
Yeah.
like a sidewalk in Brooklyn. It was straight up. But I did. I was like, man, that was my dinner. And then I didn't get any new dinner. I just was hungry. I'm ruining your show, aren't
No,
I?
I love it.
Am I
We
ruining
wanna
your
hear
show?
These are truth. I love
Okay,
that.
okay.
Here's a comment from YouTube.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
from Fly Painted Feathers. Have you ever hit an animal with your car?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
This is great.
Well, no, I wasn't driving. I was driving cross country with my friend Nick, and we were in Texas, and there was this like storm on the horizon, and I didn't know. I'm from the Northeast, so I didn't know that like a Texas storm is like that's a way bigger deal than a Northeast storm.
Oh, I didn't know
So we
that.
just like drove into this lightning storm where lightning bolts were hitting the highway and stuff. We tried to get off the road, and all these animals were like freaking out and running
Rightfully
across the
so.
road. It looked like Frogger, and we hit this rabbit. And then it was just really sad and super silent. And then my friend Nick went, maybe it didn't die. And I went, I felt its soul rise to heaven. So yeah, I've been in a car that hit an animal, yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's another comment from YouTube. This is from Mary Dur83. Chris, did you ever imagine that you'd have children by this point? Christmas would be way different.
Yeah, I tell you, I think about how I should have kids almost all the time. I recently I dated a girl for 8 years, and we broke up this summer because I woke up one day and I was like, man, I thought I'd have kids by now. I'm 32. My dad had 2 kids and owned a home when he was 27, and I compare myself to him all the time, and it doesn't work out in my favor ever. And just last night, I was at a bar with a friend of mine who was like showing me pictures of his kids and telling me that his kid just like gotten into dance classes and just learned how to read. And I started crying in the bar because I was like, man, I wish I had that life, but I just don't know if that's gonna work out for me anymore. Like, I might be just like a little too old to find that, and plus I'm a little scared that I'll pass on my skeletal deformities and depression issues to a child.
Well, so that's a positive ending then. That, you know, you're realizing that
That the child,
good
I may choose to not make a child exist because it would resemble me.
Well, that's ridiculous. We could only be so lucky to have another Chris Gethard. But also, that was an incredibly just truthful answer.
Thank you.
That was.
I'll keep it real truthful.
It's also my name.
My hand has skeletal deformities. Do you see that?
So be careful.
You
which,
get to put this in a box. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Look how weird my hand looks. Oh God, I'm such an ugly.
I can do this.
I am a physically unattractive person.
And-
This side looks a
and
little more
numbers-
normal. This side, Jesus, man.
Not for the
I look like I
holidays.
should be
Keep these away
climbing.
until after
I look
Christmas.
like I should be like climbing up a wall. Oh my
That's a
God.
good skill. That's a good. I can't
I
climb
can't
along
actually
with
do
these pretty
it. I
hands.
just look like someone.
All right,
Oh
put either
God.
Chris's name or my name in the number 1 through 9. Mystery box revealed when we get back, Chris. Thank God.
One time, my grandfather died 2 days before Christmas.
Just once.
Just one time.
Okay, good. At least
My
it
other
only happened
grandfather
once.
died much later than that on his couch. He had laid out his will on the table and not told any of us he was dying.
Well, that sounds like
Merry
a comfortable
Christmas.
place.
Merry Christmas.
You see, it's comfortable. Here's another comment.
My brother and I opened our presents on Christmas Eve secretly because my parents were at the funeral home for my grandfather's wake. We opened all our presents, then rewrapped them.
Well, and then
I got
you
a
fake
tin
surprise?
whistle. I got a tin
No,
whistle.
you did not.
Which is an instrument you use to learn the bagpipes, which is a tradition in my family because my grandfather was from Ireland and he died.
Did they buy the tin whistle before or after he died?
I didn't really have the heart to learn the bagpipes after that.
Okay. That probably was a sad sound to hear in the house anyway, so.
Yeah, it was.
Can we get.
I also had a cousin die on New Year's Eve.
Do you want to lick?
Motorcycle
So good.
accident.
You know, motorcycles they're not safe.
I am gonna get you I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna be so sad that you stop being cheerful. I can do it. His name was Tiger. He was the coolest person
The
I've
more
ever met in
reindeer
my
poop you
entire
eat,
life.
you retract, like the more joy, like it's like, so it retracts your negative because like.
He's from California.
It's
He
like
wore a
bounce.
leather jacket. He used to come to New Jersey and tell me not to let it bother me when the other kids made fun of me.
Oh, no.
Then he died when I
Well,
was in 7th grade. No
here's
one
a comment.
cared.
This is a comment for being such a good
I was
sport.
watching Dances with Wolves when my cousin died, and I've never seen the ending because I always cry when it gets to the exact moment that I found out that he died.
Up next, Chris is gonna do
the
my
ringing.
makeup.
I can't get the ringing of the phone out of my head. I would say that's Smokey. Speaking of Smokey, when I was a child, my next door neighbor's house burned down.
Did they save anything?
I don't know. They were a white trash family that used to cook food on the hood of their car. Okay.
Chris, what's the best Christmas memory you have?
The best Christmas
Like
memory I have.
The happiest
The best.
you ever were around Christmas time?
Oh,
Like happy. Like
one time, my parents got me the bike, Huffy, the white heat. Remember that one? Huffy's got white heat now. That was the ad campaign. I was so happy. And then
Ed Huffy better know that song.
we put it in my
liked it.
garage for the winter. And when it warmed up in the spring, someone had broken into the garage and stolen the bike. One time, I ate popcorn that I found on the floor. I ate garbage in a movie theater.
But you wouldn't eat a pizza that you bought? I guess the
I dropped it on
sidewalk
the
versus
sidewalk.
movie theater
No,
floor?
I was 19 and I was working in the movie theater so I could see movies for free, but they wouldn't give you snacks for free. And I was seeing The Phantom Menace for the 13th time because I could see movies for free, and it was horrible, and I was the only one in the theater, and I found a half-eaten bag of popcorn on the ground. I picked it up and ate it and started crying while watching The Phantom Menace. Because when you think about that, that's someone else's trash that they threw on the floor, and like, who knows whose hand somebody was sticking their hand in there. That person could have been like, just like a chronic masturbator. Yeah, maybe. I went to Titanic with my friend Antoine in high school, and he started crying, and we were both 17 and surrounded by 8-year-old girls. Go like this, please.
And thank
Whoa,
you
you
for-
look like you got punched in your fucking face. You look like you got punched in the eye on camera. Whoa, you look like someone like you gave like your boyfriend a bad Christmas gift, and he's like a real alcoholic, like my grandfather was.
Chris, thank you so much for being here at our
And
holiday
also
party.
I was.
Thank you for being here and really knocking the holiday spirit right into me.
You're welcome.
Chris Gethard did this.
Sorry I ruined the show today.
No,
I did kind of, right?
you didn't. You just ruined my Christmas.
I ruined.
But the show was fantastic.
I
but
think I ruined it.
you ruined a part of my Christmas spirit. So thanks again, Chris, so much.
It says on the teleprompter, Chris walks away gingerly and funnily.
I had this vision of you having all of these Christmas decorations, and then you'd have to be like this, but really, it's just this. So you can just walk off, like you can run.
I'm gonna go over there and think about life.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gingerly and funnily. What do you think, guys? Wave with your hands.
Someone somewhere is starving.
Bye, Chris.